Hello, how are you? I'm back with my 10th video. In this video, I am going to share some critical and important information with the public. The information that I refer to, they are technically based on extensive body of evidentiary material and backed by evidence, which I possess most part of those evidence, and I have been sharing these evidentiary materials with various media platform, and also the healthy part of justice system. And I am actually intending to find a way to also share them with the public directly very soon. The most grave aspect of what I'm going to say today is the involvement of very high-ranking officials of the state in extensive corruption and organized crime, unfortunately. In previous videos, I mentioned some big issues within the justice system. Now I'm just wanting to talk about the broader scope, and as you can see in the title of video, the involvement of state government and the current premier Roger Cook directly in these grave misconduct and technically crimes. Before moving forward, giving more insight to you, I want to clarify that it's not something that I do for the purpose of backing any specific political party or political front, and or for the sake of right or left side of the political arena, because even while I am alleging that the current premier is involved in serious crimes, at the same time I still have great deal of respect for the previous premier, Mark McGowan, who I believe, with all of the controversial things that happened at his time, I believe that as a doctor, I believe that what he has done during the COVID saved thousands of lives in WA, and because of that I have a great deal of respect for him. Still I respect him. He's from the same party, and at the same time another figure of the same party, I can refer to a person like Kevin Rudd. In my eyes, he's an icon in Australian politics and political history of Australia, and I have a great respect for him. I studied his life, and I think he has done a lot for Australia. So it's not about Labour or Liberals, it's about certain people, as politicians are always prone to corruption, and we should feel responsible. If we have seen something, we need to raise our voice. And this is now I arrived at a point that I need to communicate this with people. However, the time of election, I chosen the time of election because I believe around this time the political awareness of people would increase due to the fact that many people they are in the process of decision making, and they may study more about political figures that they may vote to, or the performance of current politicians that technically are seeking to be re-elected. I just put it in a short way, as it is reflected in my previous videos. Over the past 5 years, I have been through a big battle to initially started to protect my patients' right and also my own right. Then it was expanded for seeking justice, and above the actually boundary of health industry and health sector, I have been fighting for things that are aligned with my principles, because I faced them. I faced things that I couldn't stay silent to them, and I needed to continue fighting for like what I believe regarding and in relation to those observations. Our state premier, Roger Cook, who at the time that my legal battle started for, technically initially for protecting my patient right, he was health minister in the state. He has been technically involved in these matters for nearly 5 years, and especially after my first approach to the state government, which was a letter to then Premier Mark McGowan, was referred to him as the health minister to address the issue. His negligence and technically corrupt act and omissions started from that point and continued with support of certain corrupt networks and figures such as Dr. Jags Krishnan, one of the most notorious figures within the primary healthcare of Western Australia. He's notorious for a variety of offences, such as extensive wage theft for his employers and criminal arrangement and hidden collaboration with medical board to damage his opponents and other doctors or his rivals. He's a very notorious figure and criminally involved in many matters. So he has been raised within the political arena with help and cover up from our current Premier, Roger Cook. Later, this cover up, especially in relation to my matters, has become very, very more prominent. And when I raised criminality of conduct of this Parliament member Jagadish Krishnan, he's member of Riverton. Then I faced many adverse actions from the agencies under the control of government figures, such as Office of Attorney General John Quigley, who is one of the notorious criminals of a state. However, the broader issue is that this group of people, it's not just limited to my cases, although my cases are extensive. I have more than 15 court cases in various platforms fighting with these groups of people. There are some interconnection between them. However, the most important concern now is that they are, especially after having a big win in previous election, and which was technically due to extensive popularity of the former premier. Then they started vigorously to eliminate any critic, any opponent, any chance of they have been killing any chance of like criticism, and having a wealthy state unfortunately here is working against people, because then there are huge amount of money and resources for the government, and they can actually crack down on political opponents or social critics. Without going to details that are reflected in evidentiary materials, as I said, I am considering to find a way to release it directly to the public, possibly to one of my social medias that I release my videos to. Technically, there is an extensive corrupt network expanded by certain figures of state government, and I can name those that I'm sure, and there have been enough documents and evidentiary material to reach certainty about them. First of all, Premier Roger Cook he is criminally involved in these dangerous arrangements. John Quigley, he is very important, player, has been a very important player over the past 8 years, and the most detrimental thing that he has done, he has actually contaminated the justice system of WA and also police force, which is very grave. Like, contamination of justice system is the worst thing that can happen in like a state or a country, because then repairing it would be a very hard task and long term process. But unfortunately, the justice system of a state is very at the moment in many areas, in most areas, are contaminated by these manipulation that has been done, that was by these manipulation mostly through the Attorney General, the person that has been Attorney General for 8 years. Unfortunately, there are some legislative defects that gives the government officials lots of space to intervene in justice system. That's another issue that need to be addressed. But having a person like the current Attorney General for 8 years in the office, damages are extensive.